Nope.
Good.
They're all over the
We're
place.
ready.
Well, we'll call the meeting to order for May 15th, 2023. Roll call of the members, please.
Leaders,
Here.
Schultz,
Here.
Larson,
Here.
Chapman,
Here.
Silkworth.
Here. You've had a chance to read the minutes. Is there a motion to approve or make corrections?
Motion approved.
Second.
Go ahead.
There's been a move and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, the same. Motion's carried. The public hearings will be conducted pursuant to the Commission's rules of procedure. We will first hear the report of the Planning Director on the detailed information and observations regarding the request before the Commission, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take the testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I will call upon members of the audience wishing to be heard concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those opposed to it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the commission may interrupt to ask questions or to make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the commission. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I will entertain a motion from the commission to close the public hearing on the request. The commission reserves the right to ask questions of any member of the audience. However, we will not hear any unsolicited statements unless the public hearing is first reopened. Each speaker addressing the commission shall step forward to the podium, state your name and address before proceeding with your testimony or evidence. This commission shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that it may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions related to the admissibility of evidence, which may be overruled by a majority of the commission. Continuances may be granted by the commission in case for good cause shown to any interested party who has entered their appearance. The commission may request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for such other reasons as the commission may find sufficient. In such case, we shall state the specific reasons for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this commission will be made at a public meeting by motion made, seconded, and a polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amendment thereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this commission. So with that, upon hearing that, I would ask a motion to open up the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open public hearing for case number ZTA-2023-02.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. The public hearing is open. Would the applicant like to come forward?
Okay.
And if you would, state your name and address at the podium, please.
My address or the business's address for the zoning?
Yours, please.
Okay. My name is Robert C. Edgerton Jr. My address currently is here at 782 Madison Avenue, Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Great.
Could you spell your last name for us quick?
Yeah, EDGERTON.
Perfect.
Yeah, so what would you like to have us consider?
So I don't remember what the zoning change was called. I had to get help from your folks down below.
Yeah.
But we are looking to get I can't remember the terminology, I apologize, but we're looking to do truck sales and equipment sales at our lot. And to do that, we have to get a zoning change of some sort. That was on that paperwork that I filled out. And that is just for us to sell commercial motor vehicles such as dump trucks, semis, and heavy duty items on that. We're currently a manufacturer of dump bodies and hook lift containers. And to go with that, we'd like to be able to sell chassis that we can put on there and increase our business, which will, of course, increase revenue for this county as well. We currently have a dumpster company built out of there too, where we have a fleet of approximately 6 trucks that we use that go in this area in the metro, performing waste services, picking up waste for customers. So everything's gonna all be around that type of business on the truck sides. No automotive, just commercial vehicles. So.
That's great. What kind of questions does anyone have?
Nope, familiar with the place, I drive by it, so.
It's great.
Good area for it.
Yeah, yep. We're growing out there. We've got New Birth and a couple other construction companies.
Not much
now.
else you can put out there.
No.
Where is this at?
The old John Metz building at 15684 Old Mormon Bridge Road.
Okay, yeah.
Sold it, yeah.
I drove past it today. I don't often drive past it. I did today.
But today was a good day.
Today was a good day.
Yeah, you probably saw some commercial motor vehicles out there right now, so some that we're building right now. So.
That's all I have.
All right,
Motion to close public hearing?
Second?
motion and second, close the public hearing, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And what is the pleasure of the board? Are there any conversations, discussions? Matt, do you have anything to share?
Yeah, so we did in the staff report, Pam included that map to show you the different zoning districts, because what we're asking here for would be a zoning text amendment for the entire I-2 district, which is you can almost call it like our least restrictive district. That is where I-2 zoning, lots of manufacturing and those pieces go into I-2 zonings. Our largest industrial area for the I-2 zoning is really that southwestern quadrant, below Mid-America, Mid-Am power station down there. There's a large I-2 district in that spot, and then there's some smaller scattered sites. You have the Menard site up there by Shelby. Just outside of Oakland, there's an industrial park. That's where our county recycling center is located at. That's the I-2 zoning district. I don't think adding in the automobile, boat, farm, we took this language, it's directly out of I believe it's I-1 district, right? So it's already in the I-1 district, which was the automobile, boat, farm, implement, equipment, motorcycle, mobile home, trailer, truck sales, rental, and service. I don't know that we would, by doing this, see a big influx in truck and trailer sales in there. But we could very well wind up with some of the rental and service portions of that. We've had Equipment Share moved into the area recently. They're a big national company that does those things. And so we could see things like that. And I think in the I-2 district is where we would want to have those placed. So I don't see this as a detriment to the other I-2 zonings that we have out there. It will fit in with the other uses and things that you see. Because if you do have a large manufacturer out there, it does make sense that you might have some truck sales or trailer sales come in next to it, because if it's going to be shipping out a large amount of things, they're going to want to have those entities close to them. So, and you would hope for that, right? Because if they were locally, then you would want that manufacturer to use your local supplier of the trucks and the trailers to ship out their goods and not have to go elsewhere to find those things. So, makes sense to me.
I think it makes sense to me too. Would the applicant like to make a closing statement to the board?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then I would ask for a motion to close the public hearing, or we already did that. Yeah.
Approval or denial?
Yeah,
I make a motion to approve.
that's great.
Second it.
Moving Second.
So is this
roll call.
approve or does this go on to the board of supervisors?
Board of Supervisors, so you are
So it's
sending
not actually approved.
your
it's
recommendation of
recommendation.
approval to the Board of Supervisors.
Just
And
so-
then,
Just to be clear for
Yeah.
everybody.
once it goes to, so then it
One
goes
more step.
two,
One
hear-
more step.
Always one more
Oh,
step.
there always is. It's
Not
never
quite
that
there
easy.
yet.
has 2 hearings with the Board of Supervisors, and then after the 2 hearings with the Board of Supervisors, 1 week later, it gets recorded and processed in. So,
We're just kind of the filter here,
No,
so.
I understand. I figured it'd be a 6-month process.
Yep.
That's like I'm going.
All right,
It'll be a
it's
while.
been moved and seconded. Roll call.
Leaders?
Yes.
Schultz?
Yes.
Chapman?
Yes.
Silkworth?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Our recommendation for approval will move on to the Board of Supervisors.
And then you'll get an email or call.
I'll send you.
Oh, yeah.
Again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
That'll work too.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
no problem.
Thank you, folks. I
Thank you.
appreciate your time.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Oh, I have one other business, if you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, tonight I have other business. So just to make you all aware, the county some of the county board members are requesting that we update our wind ordinance. That is a part of.
Wind, like the wind farm?
Yeah, like the wind farm pieces of it, and to add in, we do currently, right now, we do not have solar on the books, anything about solar farms. And so they're asking that, we do that as well. So what I have done is that Mills County used a lawyer out of Omaha who specializes in the updates for green energy pieces. And, so far the board sounds like they're going to approve us going further with this gentleman and having new, updates for our wind and then new solar ordinance and stuff like that happening. So we will end up having those hearings. It would not surprise me on the wind ordinance ones that we have, full house,
Yeah.
obviously in here, because right now
City attorney.
there's people in the county that are very
Yeah.
sensitive to the wind piece and what we're doing with that. They want us to make ordinances that are basically so restrict, there's a few people out there that want ordinances so strict that they can't be here anymore. We can't, obviously this guy hopefully will not take it that far and we'll have something kind of in between where as long as they meet these criteria that we can still do it. But so we will have some meetings coming up here in the future that pertain to those things.
That will feel very different than tonight's meeting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we don't have anything for solar at this time?
Currently, we have nothing on the books for solar right now. And we do have a solar provider who has locked in about 800 acres around Sire and the plant, which kind of surprises me that they want to be in that area. Because what we do have is a JLUS study that pertains to how we keep off at Air Force Base here. And it was something that the whole metro area signed on. They did a giant study. So that area is in the flight path, right? You don't want to put anything in the flight path that attracts migratory birds, sun glare, all those different
Right.
things. But we don't really, as a county, we don't really have any teeth to that to say,
Right.
this is why we're not going to allow you to put something in that area. So I'm hoping that this David Levy, will be able to help tie that part in, because obviously, I think Offutt is a benefit to our entire area.
And you don't want sun glare for your son.
We don't want sun glare for the kid laying in his
So-
airplane,
So
so.
it's 12, right? That's the company that lined up everything down there by Sire.
Is it?
So I guess if we create rules or whatever, regulations for our county ordinance, will those go into effect for those individuals since they've already started that process or?
Well, that was part of what he just got done helping Mills County out with this process. He says yes. He says because they haven't started construction in the project timeline, so yeah, we can put things in place right now. Because even if they were to come file a permit with us, more than likely what I would do is go to the Board of Supervisors and ask that we issue a moratorium until we complete the process
Yep.
of updating the ordinances. Because they have issued moratoriums. The Board of Supervisors in the past has issued moratoriums on, I think they did one for section-oriented businesses back in the day, and I think that they did one
I think on the land.
on the
bills.
wind for just a short 90-day period of time.
Or the landfills, many years
Landfills,
ago,
yeah, there was another moratorium. So there's a historical record to say the Board of Supervisors does have the ability to grant that moratorium.
So just, as we get further into this, one thing to consider, there's millions and millions of grant dollars that are going towards, came out of that infrastructure reduction or interest rate reduction act that came out back in like October, November. And that money is geared towards these green projects, and there's a short window for when they can actually get this thing put in versus when that money runs out, when they can apply for those grants. So, I mean, it'd be in our best interest to make sure that we get that done as soon as possible, because that money's coming here, and if we don't take advantage of that, that money's going over somewhere else like Nebraska. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. I mean, a lot of times as we sit in these roles, we think about being more restrictive, but we also need to be mindful of the kind of money and what we want for our future too at the same time.
Yeah,
And if
that
we
green infrastructure's
ordinance them out of the picture, then,
important for us.
you know, that money's gonna be gone, and we're talking thousands of jobs that are gonna come along with that, so.
I've heard that Mid-American Energies is lined up to get like $8 billion
Yeah,
Of
over the
course,
course of the-
of that, to do these kind of things, and
Buffett Company.
so. But that's why I wanted to engage the attorney, because I feel like the attorney is gonna help us get through that process a lot faster.
Sure.
Add more credibility to it than,
Plus, he already did.
because I have ordinances that we could consider right now and move forward. The wind ordinance has stood strong since 2007. I felt like the only thing we really needed to do with it was update it to the state setbacks. The state set, we're at 1,200 feet on a setback, the state moved theirs to 1,250. So we move ours to 1,250, I feel like that would have been just fine, but
Height restriction,
there is no height restriction on it.
other than Mills County.
Mills County did, and that's what there's
Casting
one
too,
gentleman
right?
in the county that's really pushing hard to say, you know, if we do this height restriction, then they can't, you know.
Is that an option?
Well,
It doesn't matter, here's the thing, is it might not work for the systems they're putting in today, but the systems tomorrow might work, and then we're gonna keep lowering it.
I
I mean,
get
at
you.
what point do you,
so hopefully this gentleman will be able to walk us through and say that this will be acceptable and creditable to our county, and, because he also works with the green energy companies, he's very upfront about that. He's like, I represent some of these green energy companies, and so I think he knows both sides of the industry. But some of it just won't be popular no matter what we do.
no. I guarantee you, we started off wind energy, you're gonna see the whole community trainer here. I mean, it's gonna be,
Some of it's just not gonna be
they
popular.
wanted our heads when it was coming through on the board of supervisors side, we couldn't, I don't think we could even do anything at the time, really.
Because the project's already started, but
All right,
Call the vote?
yeah.
call the vote.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion
No, I
second.
already made the motion, we had a second, we need to call the vote.
You can say all in favor.
All
All
in
in
favor?
favor.
There you go.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Thank you.